falar pra vocês, esse parte que tô gravando, tô em casa aqui, na minha casa, ok? Por quê? Porque agora quem vai apresentar o Anderson. Anderson é um aluno que é muito legal, ele faz muito força para aprender inglês. Ele também é um dos alunos que ele escuta quando eu falo uma coisa para ele. Ele sempre pede opinião, ele sempre quer aprender melhor, ele quer melhorar a vida dele, a inglês dele. Ele é um tipo de aluno, verdade, muito legal, muito legal. Tadinho também, às vezes eu deixo ele com muitas tarefas, muitas coisas, mas ele verde, ele faz muitas coisas certo. Ele verdade forte, ok? Vamos assistir a apresentação dele. Let's go.
Yes, Anderson!
Yeah, so guys, so my topic is about Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall, it was a happening that happened in a really long time, but not a long time. Like, I have to give some context to talk about this subject. So, that happened in the Cold War. The Cold War was a conflict that happened with two economies to prove which one it was the best way to policy the world. So it means like they want to see which economy was stronger. And the Cold War happened after the final of the World War II. The World War II, as everybody knows, was a conflict between Germany and all the countries like Japan, Russia, the United States, Great Britain, and a lot of other countries. So this conflict, like in the Cold War, changed the history of a lot of countries. And I remember at the point to separate the two countries, one country and two countries, basically. Like we can see it in South Korea or North Korea. And the same happened with German in the time like between 1951 until 1989. So you can see it was separated in four poles of influence. Like we have the Great Britain one here and in the north, one American in the south, and one French in the Midwest, and one Soviet in the west. The Soviet was the old Russia, basically.
Yes.
And that made that were a problem because the Berlin, that was the capital of the German, was in an enclave in the middle of the Soviet territory. An enclave is big territory inside a bigger territory. For example, we have the country Lesotho in the south of Africa. Lesotho is a small country inside the South Africa.
Yes.
And the same happened with the Berlin, but in that time it didn't really have a border like separating it. Like it was just something that to tell this territory is capitalist and this one is socialist. And like it was separated the same way like we had in Germany in general. Like we had one in the south, like it was French, one it was American in the south, and another one in the west, the Great Britain, and the east, like we have the Soviet again. And you can see like almost of the part of the German was part of the Sovietics. And like as everybody know, like in URSS, there were a problem about liberty and also about the economy because they didn't know how to, how can I say it, like how control a country without have these problems. So people started to immigrate to the capitalist side, basically. And that started to generate a lot of problems inside the German. And German was separated in two countries, basically, like the Oriental Germany and the Occidental Germany. And people just start to just immigrate to Occidental Germany because like you have some freedom there, and also you have some better life conditions.
Yeah.
And after time, like people in Germany, like Soviet Germany, just start to see there were a problem because like there were populational exodus happening there. Like it's people say like it's around 3 million of people just immigrate to the Occidental Germany, and the Oriental Germany start to have to see there were a problem of economy, and they start to feel it. And in order to like to just kick away the allies that was the Great Britain, the United States and France, they just blocked all the communication ways. That means like they couldn't receive supplements or information. But that doesn't really was something that happened like to how can I say, like it didn't. Sorry, I just forgot the word.
No, no problem. Be free.
Okay. Okay, didn't have results.
Okay.
Like because the allies just had a plan to just bring supplements and information by airplanes. So it happened for 1 year. And when Stalin, that was the URSS leader, saw that wasn't working, he just stopped this plan. And they just started to think about to do a fence there, but it was just a plan that they had. And after a time, they secretly just started to bring some materials of conspirations. For example, buried wildlife. I guess just like you just said, we just have to check. And buried wire and some stacks of wood and stuff to construct a fence. So it was a secret plan that just 60 people in the government just know about it because they didn't want to the Occidental Germany to know about this plan and do something to prevent it. And they just become bringing things from Moscow in Russia to do this big fence. Like it was huge because you can see like this black line represents where were the fence. But before it, they separated the territory. Like they separated the Soviet
Area?
Sorry?
Area?
Yeah, like the Oriental Germany, they separated. Like there were a big fence around this territory here, and after that, in the dawn of 13th August 1961, they just started to build the fence. And there were a problem, like people couldn't cross this fence like free, basically. Like there were some soldiers there and people to take care about people don't just cross the fence. But it was this whole fence, like I didn't find any picture, but basically it was a fence like with 1 meter of distance of the ground, but people could still just cross it. And after time they just decided to reinforce the wall and make a concrete one that in some points could arrive in 4 meters of distance of the ground. So here you can see like people construction the Berlin Wall, and here too, like here it was almost right, it was almost finished.
Yeah.
and they put a lot of things to protect people, like to protect the people who wouldn't just cross it. So they put a lot of things like service links, towers to see people that was crossing it. It was more than 300 of that. They put a lot of soldiers that had orders to kill people that was trying to cross this.
Oh my God.
They put it like a lot of another things to make it difficult. They also put gravel and sand around the perimeter, like to see if there is someone trying to do something to cross it. And a lot of dogs and stuff, like to just see if someone was trying to just cross it, this border. And it's estimated that 140 people was killed trying to cross this border, like assassinated, murdered, some people by suicide, or people just died trying to cross it. And people will find the main ways to cross this border. Like people just try to be soldiers, for example, that they have advanced to be in the border to cross it. Like this word is current man that was a 19 years old guy that tried to cross it, and it's one of the marks of the Berlin Wall. Like everybody that studied this, all this stuff, know this guy. People just do amateur balloon, like they did. It was a mechanic with layer gripper with their wives. They did all amateur balloon, and for you to have an idea, this balloon just started firing in the air, but they were close of Occidental Germany, so they could pass it. They are okay. And they arrived at the point to do a tunnel, like with 160 meters of distance to cross it in the ground. And it was a 81-year-old guy that did like to leader it. It's very difficult to think.
And he did it?
Yeah, he made it like
81 years old, guys.
Crazy.
yeah. And
Oh.
sorry. So this wall was something really bad because it separated people, like family, friends, colleagues, and everybody else that was in the red territory. And it's estimated like 500 people just could cross over the border, like boards and population and stuff. And 7,000 people were in the jail because they were accused to try to cross the border.
Wow.
So a lot of people were just went to the jail for no reason. And like after a time, the Occidental Germany started to have good conditions of life. Like they just had a good society, a good economy, and good professionals there. And one of the reasons that they needed this wall is because the professional hand job was working like in the Occidental Germany, and they were feeling it because they started to have economic problems. And the Germany, Occidental Germany, Oriental Germany had like some contact, but because the Cold War, they just started to don't have this contact. Like they become like almost 20 years without contacting each other, like just having contact between the United States and URSS. And after time, like in the decade of the 80s, all the countries in URSS bloc had to start to have some crisis, political crisis and economical crisis. So that happened with Occidental Oriental Germany. And like they starts to do reforms in the government, the form they were doing it, and they start to do like a project trying to apply a project to open the borders again. But it was just a project, and it wasn't Parliament yet. So, but a mistake happened in 1989. That was it was really close of the dawn of the wall, like a portable voice of the German Oriental Germany said in a national television channel, like it was live, recording live, that the borders were officially opened, but it didn't open it because like the parliament even had voted for that.
Okay.
So like in the next few hours, the entire population just went to the borders to just cross it, and the guards didn't know what was happening there, and like everybody was confused with that situation because nobody knows what was happening because the guards were in service and didn't know like this notice was sent for the population. So they become a little bit confused about these things, but didn't know anything in luck, because like they had order to kill everybody that was trying to cross it, but they didn't know, they didn't do anything, just was trying to don't make people cross it. And when the leader of Oriental Berlin saw that there is no choice anymore, like we have to just put it down to prevent our catastrophe, he just said, oh, this border is opening, and everybody was happy with that. Like everybody could just cross it free.
Yes.
And like after 30 years, people just find in their family again, like their family, their friends, their colleagues, and if some people like were in the Oriental or Occidental Berlin for the first time in 30 years.
Wow.
So like in the same day, the own population just start to destroy the wall. You can see here, this one is one of the most famous pictures that we have of this fact. And the whole population destroyed. Like you can go to Germany nowadays in Berlin especially, we're gonna see this border, just some part of that. But also a fact happened in the next year, like so after a year, the government of Oriental Germany had some many problems with economy and stuff, and they just decided to unify Germany again, creating the German of nowadays.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
So, thank you, Anderson. Ele não sabe. Eu vou tentar falar português com ele. Eu quero perguntar pra ele, que ele sabe falar inglês, a gente fala inglês a aula inteira, mas a minha pergunta pra ele em português. Eu tenho 3 perguntas pra ele, Anderson. Espero que ele vai falar devagar para eu conseguir entender, mas o importante é que vocês entendem, não eu. Então, primeira coisa, Anderson, você acha que preparação desse apresentação muito complicada?
Você não é um pouco complicada.
Primeira coisa, pode tirar para ficar só o vídeo, né?
Certo.
Ok, porque a gente está longe, não está perto.
Certo. Então, para mim foi um pouco difícil fazer, porque é a primeira vez que eu faço um trabalho é uma coisa tão grande em uma língua estrangeira, e especialmente em inglês, porque é uma coisa que é um pouco nova para mim, então acabou de ser um pouco difícil nessa questão.
Só parte de língua, né?
Isso.
Mas como um tópico bem diferente, acho que não é fácil falar sobre coisa, né? Berlim, como fala Berlin Wall?
Murilo de Berlim.
É assim mesmo. Então, ele não faz, ele tem muitos detalhes, tem muitas coisas. E também presta atenção que quando ele estava falando, não estava olhando no papel. Parece que ele já tá tudo gravado na cabeça, né, Júlia? Júlia tá aqui, mas ela não tá. Agora no vídeo é a próxima, tá? Espera. Então, a minha segunda pergunta.
Certo.
Você acha que inglês, geral, é uma coisa complicada para aprender?
Assim, é uma coisa trabalhosa, não chega a ser uma coisa complicada. Se você tem um esforço sobre fazer isso, se você realmente quer fazer isso, vai ser uma coisa simples. É só uma questão de dedicação e paciência.
Paciência, viu? Tadinha, parece brigando com o Júlia. Não, a Júlia é muito fofinha, boazinha. Eu só estou encaixando ela na conversa assim de nada. Ok, a minha terceira pergunta, no seu opinião, ok? No sua ou seu? Sei lá, sua, né?
Isso.
Na sua opinião. Ó, até a pessoa tá fazendo bullying, como sempre. Ó, Júlia, essa é a minha primeira vez. Ok, na sua opinião, Anderson, como Anderson, ok? Vou perguntar a todo mundo, mas Anderson, o que você fez que você acha que melhorou o seu inglês?
Eu acho que foi a parte de prática mesmo. Você está sempre em contato com a língua, sempre está conversando com alguém, sempre tentando usar o inglês no seu dia a dia. É uma coisa que vai melhorar muito o seu inglês e você acaba percebendo que você está falando. E assim, é uma coisa que eu estou vendo.
Tem mais extra pergunta. Um pouco engraçada vai ser. A Sharon ajudou ou piorou? que você acha que eu consegui fazer? O parte de quê?
Na minha parte de aprendizagem?
Não sei. De inglês.
Me ajudou bastante, porque quando eu iniciei as classes aqui na Jumper, eu não sabia nada, assim, eu não sabia falar nada. E ela acabou forçando bastante a tirar, sempre tentar tirar uma palavra, uma frase de mim.
Tadinho, ele sofreu muito disso. Ele achava que eu não gostava dele. Mas desde que entrou ele é muito especial. Ele não sabe.
Mas ajudou bastante, assim, foi muito importante a parte assim, no meu processo de aprendizagem.
Mas ao mesmo tempo, sabe o que é mais importante? Você quer aprender. Porque você tem que quer, você tem que ter também uma professora doida como eu. Ok. Obrigada, Anderson. É verdade, você é um dos alunos especial para mim. Esse, ó, na frente da câmera eu tô falando, todo mundo vai escutar, ok? Depois